2, 1.
What a video.
Video is on. And we're ready for
the audio
recording. Here
Ready?
we go.
Let's do it.
Business Bros.
All right, here we go. We're going audio in 3, 2.
Welcome to another episode of
Business
Bros. Yeah, we got Marvin in the house. He came in with his energy, right?
What up, what up? How's it going, everybody?
What up? So Marvin comes to us from Prime Lending, right?
Another one from Prime Lending?
Yeah,
Prime
dude,
Lending,
they
yes.
rock it hard over there.
They do. Good bunch of group. Good bunch of group?
Good group.
Yeah, bunch of group.
Yeah. Let's just fumble
We
our
got
words at the
bunches of
beginning.
groups.
Bunches of groups.
Yeah, we got
this is
bunches
why
of
he
groups.
does all the talking.
Okay, I see. Now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense.
Last time he was tired, right? And he came over and we were starting the podcast and he asked the guy, he's like, so how long have you been in the insurance industry?
Totally a real estate guy.
We're totally a real estate guy. But he was like, dang. To give him credit, we had been on coaching calls for insurance agents like the whole day. He's just been nonstop insurance brain going. So
People don't understand how much it takes out of you, right? I used to do training for Target's corporate office in front of a class, 20, 30 people. When you're talking for 8 hours a day, you come home, your brain is fried.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People, they want to talk to you. I'm like, I've been talking for 8 hours a day to 20, 30 people, right? Like,
Yeah.
It takes a lot out of you.
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
and it's what I do every day. I mean, all I do is our agency is full of fresh green agents who have barely started to get their foot in the door and barely learning. And so all I do every day is say, this is how you write this type of policy. And it's more than that. You know, one of the things that I pride myself in that we're doing is really building a company culture of team and family and like caring for one another, and there's an energy that's like just soaring through our agency right now. I'm really excited about it. Sorry, I stole the spotlight.
That's okay. It's all right, dude.
But yeah, so definitely it's 8 hours of high energy training, keeping people motivated. This is what we're doing. This is what we got, and let's get freaking excited about it.
And that's kind of what we want to bring to the podcast every day, right? Like, you have a story to tell, right? I mean, there's something about Marvin that brought you to this industry. There's something about you that gets you up in the morning, that keeps you going, that wants you to the reason why you talk to clients every single day. And that's what we want to get out of new people that are coming into the insurance industry. And now we're here to share your story.
That's awesome. And I love what you're doing, because it's more than just talking for 8 hours, right? I think a lot of people don't understand the coaching aspect. They're thinking, I'm just giving out information. I'm just blurting information. No. You got to get somebody to learn that information and be able to take it and make a livelihood out of it. So it's not just me giving a presentation.
No.
It's me trying to get in your head and trying to figure out, how do I get you to learn what I'm trying to give you, so then you can make a living off of it, which takes a lot of mental energy.
It does. I mean, and that's one of those. I mean, shout out to Dean Aguilar. You've seen this Truth Hustle stuff, right? One of the biggest things we get from anybody who has worked with Dean is that he gets deeper into he can teach you. Here's the contract. Here's how it works.
It's easy,
right? Here's how you pick up the phone. Here's how to memorize the script. But he goes deeper than that. He's like, what's stopping you? Let's get into to know you, the person, to get you to the level where you have confidence to do the activity.
In whatever situation you end up finding yourself in.
Yeah.
That's the best part. Like, when I was doing that training at Target's corporate office, I used to always teach people from 3 different facets. I could teach you how to do something. I could teach you where to go find how to do it. Or I could teach you the why.
Right.
When I teach you the why, it doesn't matter what the question is that gets presented to you, because you know the theory behind what it is, and you can answer it in whatever way it gets presented to you, which is a big aspect of what you just said does, is the why.
It's the why, right? Because everything else just gives you additional confidence, right? But you got to be able to take that first step. You got to be able to take the action. If you're not willing to take the action, it doesn't matter how much you know. It's never going to get out anywhere.
And what you know, when you hear it or see it in a different way than the way you learned it, if you don't know that why behind it, you won't know how to adjust to it.
Right. It makes it. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Because you just
memorize something.
Yes.
That's all you did.
You're not modifying. You're not making it your own.
Exactly. You don't understand the foundation of why it's there.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So tell me a little bit about you, Marvin. How long ago did you get in the industry? What have you been doing? Why real estate? Why transition from talking to 30 people at Target to come to real estate?
Well, I've been in the real estate industry about 2.5 years now, lending primarily. I actually only been in California for about 3 years. So I'm originally from Chicago.
The Windy City.
The Windy City.
Yeah, so you know Mike Cuevas?
No.
No, he's a real estate marketing dude.
He's a marketing dude, right?
Yeah,
so I know who he is. I've never met him.
He's from Chicago too, so you never know. Small cities. All right. So you left Chicago.
Originally from Chicago, went to college in Arizona, Arizona State. Arizona just wasn't for me.
Wildcats, huh?
Wildcats, Sun Devils.
Oh, Sun Devils.
Yeah,
Sun Devils.
ASU.
Okay.
Wildcats are down south in Tucson.
Okay.
Yeah. But Arizona wasn't for me. Not enough culture. Not like Chicago.
Too hot.
Yeah, too hot. I don't have hair, man, right? so I get burned real quick.
Turn brown, right?
Always loved San Diego. I love the city and the beach. So I figured, San Diego has pretty much a perfect combination of both. So came out here. My academic background was in finance. So I got my degree in finance and international business. Came out here, actually quit my job at Target, went to Europe for about a month, came back, packed up my truck and said, I'll find my way out here.
I'll figure it out.
No job. I called my aunt. I said, can I stay with you for a few months?
And she said,
I'll
okay.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Damn, dude, that's ballsy.
Yeah. Had about, I think, $3,000-$4,000 in my pocket. I went from living in a city where you make $40,000-$50,000 a year, you're living like a king, to you need about 80 to 100 here as a single guy
apartment.
To a studio, right? But I'm like, you know what? There's people out here making it. They don't work any harder. They're not any smarter. I'm sure I could figure my way out, and we'll make it work.
And that's one of those differences that, people who make it, the difference between somebody who's really made it and someone who doesn't is they're willing to put in that work.
Oh yeah.
But for me, the big difference is what work, how you define work, right? Because there are people who work their asses off, physically work really hard, but only accept the wage that they're being paid to. Yeah. And then there's people who are putting in an extra effort to do something just a little bit different, something that makes them uncomfortable.
Yep.
Right? Because when you have that consistent job and you're working your butt off, I can never say that those people don't work, because they absolutely do. But if they use their mind a little more and they got out of their own way a little bit to just be uncomfortable, their earning potential could skyrocket.
Yeah, 100%. And I always like to say, you almost have to force yourself to be pushed a little bit more. And it's almost like, some people kind of scoff when I say this, but you have to put a little bit of, how do I put it, controlled stress in your life.
Yes.
Not to the point where it's going to affect your health or anybody around you, your family, but you have to stress yourself out in a way that's going to cause you to go ahead and work a little bit more.
Yeah, we say it in our coaching program. It's doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it, and at a high level.
Yeah.
Right? Because those are the things almost everybody knows. If you're in business for yourself, there are certain things that are dollar productive activities. There's a certain things that if you did them every day, you would be increasing your bottom line.
Yep.
But those are the things that you avoid doing. Those are the things that you try to run away from, that you try to find an easy button for, instead of just drilling down and getting to it.
Yeah. But here's the thing. When that safety net is there, they're not going to do it if they don't feel like it a lot of times, because they know there's a safety net there, right?
Absolutely.
Because the gain doesn't drive people as much as the loss, right? As the pain.
Yes.
Okay. So if you put a little bit of strategic stress in your life, then a lot of times it'll force you to do it. For instance, let's say you make a certain amount of money every year and you want to go and upgrade your house or live somewhere else closer to the beach, whatever it is. You can't necessarily afford it. But if you go and force yourself to go live there, and now you have no other choice
but to pay the bill,
but to go do something to pay the bill, you're going to go do it.
That's right.
But before, as bad as you wanted to go live on the ocean, and you had to just go do this one task like you said.
Yes.
But that gain of living on the ocean didn't push you enough. But the loss of you not having a house anymore and going bankrupt is going to push you to go do it.
You know what? That's a great example, because usually I lay out the same example in the reasons why we do things. It's I use a cell phone example. If you don't pay your cell phone, it gets shut off.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's going to get shut off is the reason why you pay that bill.
Yep.
That's why it's number one in your priority. If you don't pay your car payment, it's going to get repossessed.
Yep.
That is why you pay your car payment. I love the fact that, that's kind of that's almost like a 10X approach, is put yourself in a position where you want to be, it'll force you.
And you have no choice
to achieve that goal.
Yep.
That's true.
And here's the thing: cell phone, car, cool. We could get around. There's Ubers. We could find ways. Your living situation.
Yeah.
You go put yourself in that apartment, in that house.
You're gonna do whatever you can to make that payment.
Because that's where you live. That's where you go at the end of the night.
So ultimately, it's the hurt that really motivates us, not the gain.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, the carrot is not as attractive as the whip.
Yep. Yep. Put it this way: you might, let's say somebody built a.
Oop.
There we go.
You're good.
We're good. Let's say somebody built $1 million business.
Mm-hmm.
They loved it. You know, all the extravagant things that come with it, right? But let's say the other person hit rock bottom, right? The person that hit rock bottom is going to be the one that's hungry again.
Yeah.
They know that feeling of hitting rock bottom. So even that person that built that $1 million business, if they come back down and just doing a salary, that gain of that $1 million business doesn't drive them to get back there as much as the person that hit rock bottom. Saying, I'm never going to get back to that point again.
Dude.
Right?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. I mean, it reminds me of, it's going to age myself here, but Rocky. You ever watch the Rocky Balboa movies? Mm-hmm. Right? So when he's fighting Clubber Lang over there, Clubber Lang's over here like, he's at the bottom. He's hungry. Yeah. He's what Rocky was in Rocky 1. Mm-hmm. He's out there trying to get it because he has no other choice. That's his only desire, his only goal. Yeah. First time he goes up against Rocky, beats the crap out of him. Because he was that hungry.
That's hungry, yeah.
You have to go out and even if you've achieved some sort of moderate success, you need to find that inner hunger to get you to the next level.
It's funny you mentioned the boxing reference. I remember somebody, I forgot who was fighting a few years back, and this person I knew, I'm like, who do you got on the fight? And they chose the other person that wasn't the champion. I said, why? He's like, listen, the champion's living in a mansion. He's got girls around him. He's got whatever he wants, butlers, cars. The other person is living in a 5x10 studio, waking up at 5 in the morning, running 10 miles. You think the champion wants to wake up when he's got all those luxuries around him?
He's already made it.
He's already made it. He's not as hungry. He might go do his training that's prescribed to him.
Yes.
But doing what's prescribed to you is not doing that little bit extra that you had mentioned.
Exactly. That's where the extra push-ups, the extra mile,
without
the extra
somebody telling you.
Because you want it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's the difference.
It's a fight. And life is a boxing fight.
It is. It is. It's a training match, right?
It is.
The more you train at it, and that's the thing. All those things, I mean, we're correlating them to boxing or training, right? That extra set of push-ups, that extra set on the jump rope, that extra mile, that's the extra effort. That's the thing that you don't want to do, and you don't want to do it at that time, but you do it at a high level, and it takes you to the next level.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that. So I'm very big on fitness, right? And it's beyond aesthetics. I'm not just looking at the way you look. It's how we function. But for me, it's more mental too, right? For me to wake up first thing in the morning, and while it's dark and cold, that already is training my mind to do something I don't want to do.
Right.
But I told myself I'm going to do it.
Right.
Right. And it's physical too. It's not just getting up, drinking a cup of coffee, and then just typing on a keyboard. Like, go make your body move. Mm-hmm. And then beyond that, it's once you get there, okay, you train your mind where you're not just jumping around like a monkey and just doing random activities, but you actually train your body. Hey, how does my knee have to go? Where does my foot have to go? You know, if I have 100 pounds on my back and I'm squatting or doing some sort of exercise, it doesn't matter who's next to me talking to me. Can I really tune everything out and focus on my mind, on my body? Because if I could do that, then the rest of the day's a breeze.
Yeah, at that point.
Yeah.
You've already taken the first step.
Exactly.
That's why I like that video you put out, and you were like, if you're at least in the morning, make your bed.
Yeah.
If you can make your bed in the morning, you've already conditioned yourself to do the one thing you didn't want to do when you first woke up. You want to be in the bed. You don't want to be making the bed in the morning. But at least you got that done. I heard it was some military guy that I saw that had that similar quote.
I think he wrote that book, right?
Yeah, I think so. And he was saying, like, it doesn't matter if you go out the rest of your day, and if you have a shitty day, it doesn't matter, because when you come home, that bed's made.
The bed's made.
So it doesn't matter at the end of the day that you're struggling. If you have already conditioned yourself to make those steps, even on a bad day, it's nothing compared to what you've already conditioned yourself. It's developing a habit.
Yeah. And it sounds very minimal.
It sounds minimal.
Right? It's like, what do you talk about? Making a bed?
But it's that subconscious effect that it has on your brain. It's that you are conditioning yourself to set yourself up to achieve the next task and the next task. And it's accumulation effect.
This was by Admiral William H. McRaven. and it's called Make Your Bed, Little Things That Can Change Your Life and Maybe the World.
See, it's good to have a Google guy, right?
And
it's like the guy
we
on
talked
Joe
about
Rogan.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
We talked about it on one of our agent calls, Motivation Monday. I think it was last week too. So second time it's come up recently.
Yeah.
It's a small task.
It is.
It's a small task. For instance, like a lot of people talk about when you plan your day and you have a to-do list or however you go about it. Some people's theory is have small, minimal tasks that will just get you in the momentum of doing things. Mm-hmm. The other side is have your 3 biggest, most important things, right? But you got to figure out what works for you.
Yeah,
everybody's different.
And
right?
we were just having this discussion the other day because that's one of the 7 habits of highly effective people, right? Mm-hmm. Where you have your important, not important, right? You have the quadrants and you're stacking things in certain quadrants. And then he was talking about how we talked about it on the podcast, and he was saying, yeah, but that's good for a general life thing. What about when you're at work? How do you relate to things that you're at work? And so how did you break that down?
I broke it down into things that I have to do right now, things that I have to get done by the end of the day, things that I can put off until tomorrow, and things that I need to get done by the end of the week.
I like that.
And it's just what works for you, but it's the same type of concept.
Yeah.
It's just, again, what works for you and categorizing, prioritizing. Otherwise, it goes out the window. And I'll give you another example. I talk to people who are, you do too, you're in lending, right? We got to get rid of some of this debt. Right, we need to get rid of some of this debt to put you in a position where you can buy. Which debt do you attack first?
Yeah,
like if you're looking at it from just a purely financial picture, you hit the one with the highest interest rate. You're getting the best return on that.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily the best thing for the client to continue to do the process.
Yeah, and it goes back to what are you trying to achieve?
Right.
What's your objective? Right. So, in a lot of what I try to do with my planning and anything I do, it's what's the objective? Before we get into how do we go about it, what's your objective? If you just purely want to get a house and get a mortgage, that's what we're going to look at. We're not going to look at what's the highest interest rate. We're going to look at what's going to get you that mortgage.
Right.
And there's a lot of different factors, right? Using as little money as possible, or clearing as much out of your monthly expenses, right? There's a lot of different ways to go about it.
Are we fixing your DTI here? Are we fixing your credit here? What are we doing?
Exactly. So going back to what he just said and how he structures it is, it's what's your objective? What are you trying to get to? And that's going to help you decide your actions.
Right.
That's in everything.
Yep.
Right. And
that's in your diet. That's in your exercise. That's in your day.
And how you post social media. That's how you market yourself in real estate. That's how you go about every action. Should be what's your objective here. And if you don't have your objective defined first, then you shouldn't even get to your activities and whatever you're gonna do, because now you're just doing stuff without knowing what it's trying to go to.
100%. It's funny, dude, because that's what was happening on our podcast.
Yeah. It happens to all of us.
It did.
Right?
It did.
Especially, here's the thing. We've been told have a to-do list, have a list, right? You start just putting stuff on the list.
Yeah.
And you start just wanting
because
to check
it's easy
stuff
to
up.
put things on there.
Yeah. And it feels, you feel accomplished because you got all of them done. But is it getting you where you want to get to?
Yeah.
You didn't
so
have
what, you
an
check
objective.
the box. Did you check the right box?
Exactly. I don't care if I check 10, 20. I'd rather check 3 that are getting me to where I want to get to and not check the rest of them. Because those are the 3 main things and where I said I want to get to.
It's funny because I was listening to Melina Palmer's business
Brainy Biz.
Brainy Biz, there you go. Brainy Biz podcast on why people buy, and she was talking, I think she referenced, I think it was Warren Buffett actually, and when he was saying like, what do you want to achieve, right? So list them all 20, at least the 20 things that you want to achieve in life.
I heard this.
And then he narrows it down. He's like, okay, pick 3 of those, your top 3. He's like, okay, now you're only going to focus your attention on those. Everything else,
forget it.
You need to ignore it. Those are your distractions. Everything else is your distraction, even though they're on your priority list, which is what blows everybody's mind. They're on your to-do list. Yeah. You do want to achieve these things, but those are your excuses to not achieve, that not get you to those top 3 that you want to get to.
And it's crazy, especially in our industry, right? Because we always have transactions we're working on, and we're so customer service oriented, right?
Yes.
We want to do whatever we can, the most, answer calls at any time, this and that. But at the end of the day, it's not growing our business per se if we're not working on it strategically, right? It'll grow our business indirectly, but it's not the specific things that we said we have to do in order to grow that business, right? And I stress this with everybody I try to work with, and myself too, and I had to work on it. You have to find the blocks of time that I'm going to do this to grow my business.
And only do that.
Only do this. No phone calls, no notifications, no emails. It's like if I was in a meeting with a client, I'm not answering your call.
Right.
I'm in a meeting.
Exactly.
So this is going to be my meeting. And I've gotten to the point where now I'm just implementing the first 2 to 3 hours of every morning. And it's just me.
And here's the thing about when you actually have those time blocks and you're acting like a professional, your clients will respect you more if they just understand that, look, I can answer your calls. This is my time frame to answer your call, so expect me to call you back at this time. Otherwise, let me schedule an appointment with you, and I'll call you back during this specific moment. You're a professional. It's like when you go to the doctor. You don't just walk in and say, hey, what's up, doc? Like, see me right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You schedule an appointment.
Yes.
And that's the important thing, right? You're not, it's a perception thing. Your client needs to understand that your time is valuable. The time that they spend with you is also valuable. And I only want to focus my attention on you. So let me schedule an appointment so that you have my undivided attention.
100%. And I think you hit a big point there is you set the proper expectations.
Yes.
You set the expectations and you set the expectations of how doing business with you as a professional is going to be. And that's the only way you're going to grow your business.
Yes.
That's the only way. So
it's dedicating that time.
It is.
Oh man, dude, I love our conversation.
It really is. Okay. Then I go back to fitness a lot, and because I could have a metaphor for fitness and life. Pretty much for everything, right?
Because it correlates really well.
Yeah. When I work out, my phone's away. I don't touch it. It's on silent because I'm in that mindset.
Just music.
Just music. Literally, I don't train with anybody. Just me, music, and that's it. Because I'm trying to gear myself up for the rest of the day where I know I have this time block. I'm not going in there having a plan and saying, okay, let me see how much I could get done in the hour, or let me just see how long this workout will take. No, I got to plan for the morning.
Yeah.
I got to be in by this time. I got to start walking back home at this time, and I got to be done eating, showering by this time because I have a 9:00 appointment with myself to do this.
Yes.
Right?
You value your time spots.
Oh, yeah. You have to.
Because, we talked about this on a previous podcast. Like, you can create a nice looking schedule and it'll look beautiful. But if you don't keep your commitments, and especially if you don't keep your commitments to yourself, how are you going to be expected? How do you expect yourself to commit to anybody else?
No.
Exactly. I mean, you can't do that.
You can't.
That's a snippet right there.
Yeah, right? With a fumble and everything?
Yeah, well, no, both of you, because you guys literally were like, self. That's great. I loved it.
It's the hair, man.
Yeah. We got a bald connection.
There's no friction, so the waves just go
going back and forth. I'm looking at him thinking, I need to grow a beard, like a full-on beard. I think that'll rock.
There you go.
I mean, I'm Middle Eastern, man, so
it grows nicely, right? Perfect.
I mean, I had this when I was like 12 years old, man. It was like his at 12, you know?
That's good.
Hey, when you work out, do you like have your you know exactly what you're gonna do that day, like arms, legs, or you have it mapped out too, or you just kind of like?
So yes and no from what you said. I don't do one body part. I like more full body because to me that's more of what I'm gonna be doing in life, right? It's more, if you want to use the word functional, right? It gets thrown a lot in fitness, but that way I could connect with my body. Because I'm not just working one small muscle. I'm constantly moving. That's my form of cardio because my heart's always pumping too.
Yeah.
I do a set of leg exercise and I do a set of your back exercise. So your body's still moving the whole time. You're having to use your mind the whole time. I'm not sitting there waiting for a minute or two on my phone thinking about stuff like that. But to answer your question, the workout is structured. Because like if you've ever studied what Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs used to do, they used to always wear the same outfit every morning for a specific reason. And it wasn't because they liked that outfit all the time.
They didn't have to think about it.
Right? And this goes back to what we were talking about when you're training somebody. And it goes back to fitness. When you work out, you know that your muscle has a certain capacity, right? You can work out that muscle for an hour. You start to feel that strength going down. Right? It doesn't work as strong. It's not as powerful.
Start to feel like a noodle.
Yeah. And then an hour and a half, 2 hours is the muscle is done. Well, your mind's a muscle as well. And your mind only has so much endurance to make decisions and make them well.
Right.
To a certain point, just like physically, your muscles will give up. You'll still be able to get to where you need to get to, walk there.
Just not the same
level. Not as
level.
fast, not as efficient. Your brain's the same exact way.
You're going to be grumpy. You're going to be tired. You're going to be snappy.
Why do you think when parents come home, that's how they are with their kids sometimes, because they spend all day at work using up all that energy sometimes, talking to other people. They don't have that musculature endurance anymore in their brain to deal with them.
That's true.
It's the same concept. So long-winded answer here. Yeah, I know what I'm going to work out on because I don't want to waste the energy, mental energy on thinking about what I'm going to work out on. I already have it planned. I already know what I'm going to do.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No, I was like a little bit curious, I guess, about when you plan these workouts. Now all of a sudden we're a fitness podcast, but, but it's cool. Like, do you plan these workouts like a week in advance, the night before?
So I normally have like one workout for the week, and then I stick with that for about 4 weeks. So then you'll have it for the whole month.
It's like a circuit, then I'm imagining.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Right? But you have it for the whole month, and then every month you switch it up.
Nice.
That'll work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of you tend to do the same thing in training, right? Like, we know on Mondays it's more of a motivational day, right? On Tuesdays we're doing personal line trainings. Yeah. On Wednesdays we're doing live training. On Thursdays, we know exactly and it's pretty much the same type of content. We just kind of mix it up a little bit.
And you structure your day when you're training based on where they're going to be mentally, right? I'm assuming during the morning time you could get more of your important things because their brain's still fresh.
Right.
Towards after lunch, towards the end of the day, like when I used to train in classes, I had 20, 30 people. I wasn't going to give them those big why topics at the end of the day. No way.
They're done already.
I'm giving them more role play. I'm giving them more physical activity, stuff like that, right? At the morning, it's stuff where I need you to use your brain. I need you to get that stuff out there.
Because that's when you have the most energy. You've had the most sleep.
Mental energy.
Yeah, you have the most sleep. You're waking up. Your mind's ready for action. You've had breakfast. You're rocking and rolling. All the synapses are firing at the right time.
Yep.
Later in the day, not so much.
Exactly. Your mind starts wandering. That muscle is not as strong anymore.
True.
Which is your brain.
True.
Yeah.
Let's take this back to a little bit of lending stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's been fun. Rewind that a little bit. So tell me, why'd you get into prime lending? What's cool over there? I mean, Mike told us a little bit about what's going on. How do you see it?
The culture. Culture is big for me, man.
Nice. I really like that.
Yeah, culture is big for me. I primarily went with them because when I came out here, like I was saying, without a job. I was coming to do financial advising, actually, because that was my academic background. And I was interviewing with Edward Jones for the FA position, and then I got recruited with my manager now, Danny Talia. And we were at a different company. It got sold. So we went to the second company, and some things started to change, and then we decided to come to Prime Lending. And I went to him. I said, hey, what's your take on this company? He said, you know what? They've been recruiting me for like a year or two. And even though we didn't choose them the first time around, they still stood back there. And they didn't burn the bridge, which was big to me, right?
Yeah,
it's not one
of
of those.
Something, right?
Yeah, it says something.
It doesn't turn your back on somebody just because they weren't in a position at that time.
Exactly. So then we joined Prime Lending, and what I love about it is they give you the foundation of a corporate company. They have a strong balance sheet, which to me means they're not going to go under, right? That balance sheet is strong. It's not a mom and pop brokerage where you have to worry about what's going to happen when we're not making as much money in the economy, right? Yeah. But they give you the autonomy to be your own company, which is what I love.
Yes.
Right? So you have the foundation of a corporate company, but then you have the autonomy of your own company.
That's funny. That's one of the things that we like about, because I'm actually an Exp Agent.
Okay.
So have you heard of Exp? And that's one of those things that I really like about it. Let's be honest. This is a very vanity-filled industry that we're in, right? And so
to put it lightly,
right? To put it lightly. So a lot of us a lot of the agents like to keep their own brand, whether it's their team brand, whether it's their own individual brokerage brand. And that's one of those things that I really liked about EXP. Not only is it, it takes the brokering, being a broker part out of the hands of the broker, and just allows them to just continuously recruit and be part of the team and brand themselves the way they want to be branded. Right, and that's huge.
Which is what all realtors want to do.
Yeah, they want their name on it. I own this company, right? This is my business.
They want their picture on everything.
Which is fine. I'm okay with that, right?
Yeah, it's exactly. Fine. That's part of it.
Right, and it allows that. So I like how you said that about prime lending. I mean, that's definitely one of those things where I'm building the relationships with these people. I'm building the connections with my clients.
Because it is my business.
It's your business.
The bank at the end of the day is only a medium to transfer the cash.
Yes,
that's all it is.
You're still in sales. It's still your you're just deciding that this is your product. I'm using this as my product, my venue, right?
Yep.
But it's still your retail location, right? It's still your spot. The customers are still coming to you.
Yep. It's the realtors are working with me.
Right.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, listen, like a lot of mortgage banks essentially offer the same thing, right? Like when I go and talk to a realtor or a client, I'm not pitching them on mortgage products.
Right. They're all the same.
I'm pitching them on me.
30-year fix is 30-year fix.
Right? Like, don't get me wrong. There's small differences, but nothing that they're going to understand.
Right.
right? We barely understand it in our industry a lot of times, right? So for me to try to convey that to somebody that knows nothing about it, they're not going to understand that. They're going to do business because of me.
Because they like you.
They like me, right?
Just like their clients, right? Their clients are going to do business with them because they like them.
Exactly. Same thing with the realtor, right? They know that I'm going to be an extension of their brand. That's what I look at it, right? Like if you're going to refer somebody to me, I'm an extension of your brand. I need to make sure before we even talk about anything that we get along as people, right? And
Otherwise,
that
it ain't going to work.
Yeah, and that I'll tell you, hey, I don't think this is going to work between you and I. Because I have different opinions from maybe you, or we do business a little different way. Then I wish you the best, but it may not work out. So let's just stop it right here.
Plus, you have more fashion than me, so you know what? This ain't going to work.
Are you ending the podcast?
Right? That's it. We're going to be done here. You guys didn't see, but he came all dressed up, all nice. Made me feel bad the moment I walked in.
I mean, I did the video earlier. That video was called, what was it? Fashion, fitness, and real estate facts. I'm like, all right, you have to.
No, but it does make a difference. I mean, you're out there putting yourself in front of clients. You got to look the part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. And we live in San Diego.
Come on, man.
I mean, I know it's raining, but
but even on a rainy day, it's still a nice day.
Yeah, come on. I'm from Chicago. I mean,
yeah, on a windy city day. How are we doing in time?
We're good.
We're good.
It's that time.
All right. See, he's got the biological clock letting me know. All right, dude. So I want you to talk to the cameras. Tell them how to get in contact with you. This camera, right? And you do have your contact info right there. But if there's any other way, let them know.
Honestly, just hit me up on social media, Instagram, Marvin_Younan. You could Marvin.Younan@primelending.com. Marvin Younan on Facebook, any way you can.
And check him out on Facebook, dude. He does have the fitness, fashion, and real estate show. I mean, they're little snippets. They're not long, right? Ours is 30 minutes. His is what, like a couple minutes?
Minute or two at most.
Yeah, at most. And it's just little punchy, useful information just to, put you in that little mindset and get you going. Yeah. Right? All right. And then lastly, who do you think would be a good addition to the podcast?
Good addition to the podcast. You know what? Because you, when I said culture, your head stood up a little bit. I'll say Danny Talia, my manager.
Okay, cool.
Just because he's big on bringing culture to the industry. And just like he got recruited, he's kind of taken that approach to everything he's doing as well, which is a little bit differently, especially in the lending ball game, right? It's more, let me get to know you as a person. I know you might not want to change companies now or do anything,
right?
But let me at least present you with what's out there and see if this culture fits for you in the future whenever something happens.
Because change happens, and if
in
it happens,
industry,
and if the time's right, great. If it doesn't, good on you, mate.
Exactly.
That's it.
Sweet. All right, so Danny, so what we're gonna do is when we post it, actually we went live, so we'll share it with you, and then you can tag them on there, and then we'll put them in contact, and we got like 5 spots left in February.
We'll get them on here,
and we'll get them locked away.
Yeah. What was the last name again?
Talia, Talia.
Danny Talia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Marvin, thanks for being on the podcast, brother.
Thank you for having me, man.
Appreciate it. You are now a friend of the Business Bros. If you ever need anything, I'm gonna be Facebook stalking you, dude, or Instagram stalking you, commenting and stuff. So if ever you guys have any questions, you can email me, hernan@csfirst.com. You can find us on social at Business Bros Pod. And if you have any insurance needs, hit up the real estate bro, the insurance bro, James.
See, that brain is tired.
At the end of the day, James@csfirst.com. That's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, guys.
And I'm out. See, not too bad, right?
No, it was good, man.
Easy,
I like it.
fun time.
There you go.
Thanks, Facebook. We love
Thanks,
you.